there's really no reason for it in the year 2026, right? Like, we can get out and put modern combustion systems on there that keep these boilers just running awesome. So when we're talking about a boiler system, be it a steam boiler or hot water boiler, low or high pressure, it doesn't matter. We've got that burner, that combustion system on it. Boilers of all sizes. The rules vary based on the size of the boiler in some regard, but in general, it's all about safe combustion. And so why does that combustion tuning matter? Especially on the large end, it matters for cost, right? If we have an inefficient burner tune and we're burning $1,000 of gas a day, then you're spending a lot of money by not having that burner running in tip-top shape. On the smaller end, that's maybe less of a concern, but certainly tuning that flame correctly can help us save gas, save energy. The second would be typically with a burner tune-up, there's a specialized technician coming out that understands how this particular piece of equipment works, right? So they're also going to be doing an inspection at that time, looking for, cracks in gas manifolds or broken switches, broken dampers, and things like that. So if the plant operating staff is not super familiar with those, which is pretty typical, then it's helpful to have a trained set of eyes on this critical piece of equipment on a regular basis, right? Annually would be the longest, and typically we're going to have a tune-up done with that annual inspection, but not always the case. Sometimes people will do that separate from the annual service and inspection. But also some boilers that are running hard and don't have closed loop O2 trim should be tuning seasonally, right? The air density changes a lot, and how many openings we have to the building, if the roll-up doors are open or closed, that's going to change from January to July. So it's pretty common for us to tune a boiler 4 times a year if it's a system that doesn't have any of its own adjustments being made with like an O2 sensor. Inspections, seasonally, efficiency. Let's talk about reliability. What does it cost if in the middle of a run or in the middle of the week my boiler goes down and it's not going to be repairable for several days while I wait for parts? If that's a high cost, then it may be something that we want to have inspected more frequently and have it serviced when the rest of the facility is not online, maybe over a weekend or something of that nature. Would be a great time to have it serviced a couple times a year to make sure that it gives us the reliability that our process calls for. And then the last would be safety, right? Making sure that all of those safety interlocks for the way that the system purges and lights off and all of those things, to make sure that all of those are functioning appropriately, we need to have a regular inspection and tune and service by somebody that knows what they're looking at. So if you're running a boiler system and your burners have not been tuned or looked at in over a year, you really should consider getting somebody out, because it may not warn an untrained eye that it's going sideways, that it's not working appropriately. And so if one of those safety interlocks isn't working right, or a switch is stuck or something of that nature, it may not give you warning before it blows up. And so we just want to make sure we always have somebody trained looking at it on a regular basis and making sure that fuel air ratio is doing what it's supposed to. I guess the last I could say would be repair costs. If it was running way too rich and started to build soot in the boiler, then now you're losing efficiency on your system even more so, and you're going to end up in a situation where you're going to have to spend a lot of money and time getting in there and cleaning that out, and it's just a mess. We don't want to have boilers that build soot. There's really no reason for it in the year 2026, right? Like, we can get out and put modern combustion systems on there that keep these boilers just running awesome, and the cost of an O2 sensor for that technician to do that tune-up and do a great job is really nominal nowadays. So if your boiler's making soot, call somebody.